It turned out to be not a comfortable living situation.
Correct.
A roommate battle starts over money.
Who paid the security deposit?
I did, Your Honor.
Do you all agree Mr. Stansberry paid the security deposit?
No, Your Honor.
No.
And ends with handcuffs.
You didn't get along. The police were called. You were removed from the house.
I was taken to jail.
Judge Judy.
Now, we're going to simplify this case, Mr. Stansberry. I am going to hear that portion of your case only that involves the security deposit that you allege that you put into the apartment that you all lived in together, as well as hearing that portion of your case which deals with personal property that you allege that the defendants disposed of. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you gentlemen understand that the only part of your counterclaim that I'm going to consider is that part which deals with Mr. Stansberry breaking the lease. Do you understand?
We do.
We do.
Perfect. So the four of you moved into a house, 4 bedrooms?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you sign the lease, Mr. Stansberry?
The beginning of January.
Of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
And it was a year lease.
Mr. Spires signed the lease. I was an occupant on it.
Mr. Spires, raise your hand. That's you. You signed the lease.
Yes.
Who paid the security deposit?
I did, Your Honor.
And how much was the security deposit?
$1,800.
Do you all agree that Mr. Stansberry paid the security deposit?
No, Your Honor.
Who paid the security deposit?
There was a total of $3,600 that was owed, which was first month's rent and a security deposit. Me and Mr. Stansberry came together and just come up with $1,800 or $3,600 together. It was not specifically said that I'm paying the security deposit, you're paying the first month's rent.
Did you pay any rent the first month?
Yes, ma'am.
How much was your share of the rent the first month?
$900.
And did you pay that by check or cash?
It was a check.
Do you have that check?
I don't have it.
But you can get it.
I can get it.
Fine. Now, Mr. Spires, I don't like my time wasted. Did Mr. Stansberry pay his first month's rent?
We split $900 apiece,
Yes,
both ways.
Just a second. Well, then if he paid his first month's rent, then he put down the security deposit. So if you both put down together $3,600, but then he paid for his first month's rent, which was $900, then he paid the security deposit. Do you understand?
He paid half, I paid half.
He paid half of what?
First month's rent. There was a total of $3,600 that was due.
I understand that, but if he paid his share, $900, which he says he can get me, and that's easy to get from a bank statement, that means that the $1,800 wasn't used for any part of first month's rent. He paid the security deposit.
Okay.
Okay. How long was the lease?
1 year.
When did you move out?
We were still in the house.
Mr. Stansberry is no longer in the house.
Correct.
It turned out to be not a comfortable living situation
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
with him. You didn't get along. The police were called. You were removed from the house. In what month were you removed from the house?
I was taken to jail. It was June.
So from January to June, you lived in the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Who lives in the house now?
Myself and Mr. and Mrs. Gingillo.
Have you put an ad in the paper? Craigslist, they don't put ads in the paper anymore, on some sort of internet magic, advertising for a new roommate.
We chose not to just because of the problems that we had with the roommate that we had.
So you chose not to?
Yeah, we didn't want to go through that process again.
Fine. So you have to give him back his $1,800. Because what you have to do is, if he's out and the police were involved, you have to at least attempt to mitigate your damages, which if he has a room and it's a 4-bedroom house, you have to at least try to find another roommate. If the 3 of you decide you don't want to go through that again, you're staying there, you're living there, you're comfortable, you all get along, and it's all very nice, that's your choice. But he gets his security deposit back, unless you have any proof that he damaged the house. Did he do any damage to the house?
Yes, Your Honor.
What?
There was multiple times that we asked...
Show me.
I have the pictures of the damages on my phone.
I'd like to take a look at it. Because you do understand that if you caused any damage to the house, sir, that's going to come off your $1,800.
I understand that.